time to share. There's a world out there looking for a friend like Jesus. It's time to share. There's a world out there. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Kids time, kids time, kids time. Kids
Oh, hi, boys and girls. I'm just looking inside an oven to see if my bread is baking. Let's see. Yep, it sure is. It's baking. Not quite ready yet. See? There's an oven in this mirror. And I've been told it bakes the best bread of all. Oh, yes, but still needs a little more time. Okay, I know you're starting to wonder about me, aren't you? What do I really see when I look in this mirror? You're right. I see myself. But did you know that I'm actually like an oven? You see, Jesus was like a baker, but there's more to this story. You might remember how Jesus took a few loaves of bread and he fed a huge group of people by blessing and breaking the bread and multiplying it. But Jesus wasn't just interested in feeding our empty stomachs. He wanted the people to understand something about his goodness. And that is what our Bible story is about today. When we ask Jesus to come into our hearts, it's sort of like putting a loaf of bread in the oven. If all the right ingredients are there, God's goodness, it just grows inside of us like a delicious loaf of bread rises and bakes into a perfect golden brown. Sort of makes you hungry, doesn't it? But not for just any old food. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. He that comes to me will never hunger. You know, that I'd like you to look that up in your Bible, boys and girls, at home, John 6:35. So the next time you look in the mirror, boys and girls, and you ask yourself, is the bread of life baking in my oven today? I hope your answer is yes. Well, right now, let's visit Ranger Jim. He's always baking up something interesting, isn't he?
Hi, boys and girls. Ranger Jim saying welcome to Nature Time. We're glad you can join us today. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and this is an exciting place. It's called Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, and we're having a wonderful time here. We're just going around seeing different things, and they say there's a fish here, and I'm looking inside everywhere for a fish, and it's hard to find there's a fish here. I see some lumps and some rocks and what have you, but my friend Todd over here, he knows a lot about these things. Todd, is there a fish here?
I'd say there is a fish there. There's an anglerfish in there, and he looks just like a rock.
He looks just like a rock. Tell me something about this guy.
That's their camouflage. They try to hide out. They look like a rock or a piece of coral. They just sit on the bottom waiting for their lunch to come by.
So this is their way of hiding, and it's a wonderful system, isn't it? You can hardly see him and tell about it. Well, tell me, does he attack? Does he swim and get his prey, or does he just stay there?
He waits there. He waits for a little fish to come along. And if you look, his first dorsal spine has a little hook, has a lure on it.
A lure?
Just like a fishing lure. And he wiggles that in front of a fish to entice him to come over. And just when he gets close enough, he jumps out really quick, opens his mouth really wide, and swallows him whole.
That's sort of a sneaky thing to do, isn't it?
Oh, it's really sneaky, but he's good at it.
He's good at it, and he's efficient that way. Well, tell me now, these fish, what do they eat primarily? Do they eat crabs or small things like this? Or?
Generally, they eat smaller fish, but they'll also eat fish almost as big as they are. They have a huge stomach that'll expand.
Okay, now this is an adult. We would expect it to be about as big as they get. This one is?
I'll say that one right there is as big as that variety is going to get.
That's
yes.
as big as they would get. Now, do you start them here, or do you have smaller that you start them in a different area?
I'll say we have smaller ones in another holding tank, and we might be able to see them eat.
And when they eat, you feed them, they do the same thing, the procedure like this. Well, I see over your shoulder, there's a video over here. What about, oh, this is showing it. This video is showing them. Look at that.
That's his lure right there, and
that's
he's
his
waiting
lure?
That's his lure,
wow.
And that was lunch. We just came up and...
He is fast, isn't he? He just came out and grabbed it that quick.
It's instantaneous.
We have an alligator snapping turtle that also has a tongue like that. And he does the same thing as this sneaky guy does. He lays on the bottom and opens his mouth, and inside there's a little white worm, and he wiggles it like that, and when a fish comes near it, wow, he grabs it again. Could we see that again? Let's see that again over there. I can't believe how fast that guy, and the thing that he dangles out there, this is part of his body?
That's part of his dorsal spine, yes.
I can't believe that. A fish should take that, shouldn't it? I fish for bass. That would catch bass. Oh, yikes. Well, what a wonderful, interesting fish. That is exciting. And when I first came up, I have to confess, I looked and looked for the fish. But I'm glad you were here to explain it about us. So, boys and girls, we now know that there really is a fish there. And so, Ranger Jim, as I always tell you, boys and girls, they are all different. They are all wonderfully made. And Jesus made them right the first time. So, boys and girls, from a beautiful place in the Smoky Mountains, Ranger Jim saying, don't forget to tell Jesus that you love him, because he really does love you.
And God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. Genesis 1:31.
sweet tooth? I know I do, but I still wanted to eat healthy too. And that's why I came up with this recipe for oatmeal banana nut cookies. Let me read the recipe for you. 1/4 a cup of soy milk, 1/4 a cup of oil, 1/2 a cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 cup of rolled oats, not quick cooking, 1/2 a cup of whole wheat pastry flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 a cup of chopped walnuts, and 1 ripe banana mashed. Now we're going to start with our wet ingredients, and I'm going to go ahead and put in our oil. Now you can use safflower oil or a light kind of olive oil or canola oil. And our soy milk. Now the only reason we're separating these ingredients wet and dry is because they mix better if you get all the wet ones mixed up together, and then you can add the dry ones. This is our maple syrup and our vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Get those mixed up quick. And then we're going to go ahead and add our dry ingredients. Now these are rolled oats, whole rolled oats, and you can also add, it's not good to add quick oats, so make sure you get the rolled oats. And our flour, our whole wheat pastry flour, and our baking powder, cinnamon, mix that up. Now you can put really any kind of different things like nuts and stuff. Like I've chosen to use walnuts today, but you can really use like if you don't like walnuts or if you're allergic to nuts, you don't have to use nuts, but I like to use nuts because my dad likes nuts. But you can also use pecans or anything like that. And if you really want to be creative, go ahead and put on our nuts. If you really want to be creative, you could put in some dried apricots or some dried cranberries or anything, like that. It'll all taste good in there if you want something a little bit different. Now you can also, let's go ahead and put in the smashed banana. Now this banana has already been smashed up ahead of time for us, but you're just going to take the banana and you can just smash it up with your fork or squish it up. Get that mixed up. Now we're just going to go ahead and put, I have already a pan out here, just a baking pan, and I'm going to get our nonstick cooking spray, and spray the pan. Nice and good so the cookies don't stick. And you're just going to take a spoon and get a spoonful and just drop them on in a spoonful. Just like that. And leave a little bit of space just in case they spread out a little bit. You don't want them to touch each other. Now you're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, but it may take a little less time if the cookies, if your oven isn't hot enough, or not your oven hot enough, but it may take a little bit more time or a little bit less time. And I have some cookies already baked for you. I'll show those to you. These are delicious cookies. You ought to try them. If you have a sweet tooth like me, they are delicious and healthy too. So while you're enjoying your sweet tooth, you're eating healthy too. You're not eating anything that's really bad. Well, until next time, keep cooking and eat healthy.
Oh, my dear, it is so good to see you today. I just hope things are going well with your family.
Oh, you do good work. Yeah.
Thank you, real well. My husband's pretty lonesome. Yes, and along about midnight last night.
It doesn't seem like it, does it? But the Lord blesses us. We have all we
The
need.
new system that drops something for you too.
Aaron! Aaron! Yes, Barnabas, you baker extraordinaire, you. What can I do for you? You said Jesus wasn't going to do any more baking. Right. You said that Jesus was more interested in feeding the people information about the eternal life in heaven than he was about fresh baked bread. What happened? Did Jesus reconsider his position?
No, he didn't. I know you're all concerned about the feeding of the 4,000 that just happened yesterday.
Over 4,000.
Over 4,000. I know, I was there. Man, you should have been there. It was a great day. Jesus was telling us all about God's love. There were people there that were coming up sick, kids that had broken arms, and he'd touch their arm, and they'd be healed just with a simple touch. He was telling us so many great things, we lost track of time, and before we knew it, it was late in the afternoon, and nobody had eaten all day long.
Really?
We were starved. And there was some people there that had a little bit of bread and some fish, and he multiplied it just like he did with the 5,000, and he fed everybody.
So his point this time was that he could take how many loaves?
It was 7 this time.
7 loaves and a few fish?
Right.
Feed less people and have how many baskets left?
7 baskets, but no, that wasn't his point. Although you do have to admit that the 7 loaves to start with and the 7 baskets is a pretty amazing coincidence.
Yeah?
No. His point this time was about yeast.
Yeast?
Right. Afterwards, he warned his disciples to be on guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
The yeast of the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Right.
What does that mean?
Well, think of it this way, Barnabas. When we make our bread,
we
use the best ingredients. The right
Yes,
flour, good fresh water, the right amount of yeast so that the bread rises properly, correct?
Absolutely.
All right, well, if we want to have a good relationship with God, Jesus is saying that we need to start with the right ingredients. Love, joy, peace, goodness. And if we have those right ingredients, our relationship with God will rise. If we don't have those ingredients, if we have bad yeast, then that relationship with God doesn't rise at all. That was his point.
Wow. So Jesus really isn't going to into baking. He's more interested in goodness, love, and kindness.
You've got it exactly.
So, I guess you would expect this from the bread of life.
I certainly would.
And speaking of goodness, kindness, and good things, I just saw somebody today that I would love to give a bread basket to.
Okay.
Could you go on an errand for me?
Be delighted
Aaron?
to.
Take this down the street to the widow Nain.
Will do.
See you, Aaron.
We'll see you. Morning, ladies.
Morning.
Boys and girls, right now Miss Brenda would like to show you my book of the day. And my book of the day is Julius, the Perfectly Pesky Parrot. And it is by Vera Lee Wiggins. And let me share just this little bit with you. Mitch was doomed. He couldn't believe it. What was his eye seeing? The lampshade lay in a pile of dust on the floor, exposing the metal skeleton of the lamp. His mom's beautiful walnut dining table had become scalloped overnight. Walnut chips lay on the floor, accusing the culprit, Julius, the Perfectly Pesky Parrot. Julius annoyed everyone with his phone imitations, his thefts, and ear-piercing squawking. But when Julius scares away a suspicious salesperson and chases away mean dogs, everyone starts to believe that Julius might not be as pesky as they thought. Well, you're going to have to purchase this book, boys and girls, to read more about the Julius the Perfectly Pesky Parrot. And let me tell you what, that is a mouthful to say, isn't it? By Vera Lee Wiggins. So I know you'll enjoy this book. And boys and girls, I want you to keep reading. We need to read more books about Jesus because we will learn more about Jesus. Every time we read more of these books, we're going to become closer to Jesus. And that's what we want most of all, isn't it? Well, I have some wonderful letters to share with you. This one is from South Africa. And let's see what's in here. This is kind of a heavy letter. Let's see what's in here. Oh, boys and girls, there is some South African money in here. Look at this. I don't even know how much it is, but look at this. See, they have a picture of a bull on it and all these wild animals. Isn't that something? Let's see that. Oh, and I've got a picture of, oh, how precious. I have two pictures. I have a picture of a little boy and a little girl. Look at that. And, oh, isn't it cute? Isn't she cute with her little curls in her hair and a big brother holding her hand? And then let's see, there's one here of the little girl by herself. Isn't that cute? Isn't she precious? Well, let's see here what she says. Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Enrico Janssen. I'm 7 years old, and my sister's name is Izelda. She's 2 years old. We stay in South Africa in Bloemfontein. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. My home language is Afrikaans, but I can also speak English. For increase the language in heaven, for just in case the language in heaven is English. I love Kids Time programs on 3ABN very much. Please send my warmest regards to all the Kids Time friends, Ranger Jim and Ben Roy and Buddy and the Kids Time Singers, and also Miss Katie. Because South Africa is so far from America, we can't meet one another, but in heaven we will praise the Lord together, and you're right about that. It says, please pray for my sister, and we would like to join the kids club. When I am a big man, I want also to be a doctor like my father. Thank you very much. I love Kids Time. Greetings, Enrico. And then there's across the way here, they've got Dear Miss Brenda, and she's written the whole thing out in Afrikaans for me to see what that would look like, and that is really cute. Well, let's see what else we have here. Okay, we have one from Isabel, and she is from Canada. Okay, let's see what Isabel has to say. Oh, we have a picture of Isabel, and we've got, I'll just hold this letter up so you can see the letter while I'm reading it. It says, Dear Brenda, my name is Isabel. I'm 8 years old. I live in Quebec in Canada. I like Jesus, so I play flute for him. I don't speak English, but I want to learn, so I asked my sister, 13 years old, to write that letter for me. I like very much your TV program, from Isabel. And look on the back, she has drawn the most beautiful drawing of a horse, and it's out, some of the rider galloping on it. Isn't that cute? So I really like that. Thank you so much, Isabel. Let's see what else we have here. We have one, oh, let's do an email. Let's read an email. Dear Miss Brenda, I hope you are feeling well. Please accept this picture of me and my sister, Kayan. My name is Kimar. I am presently a part of the Kids Club. My favorite part of Kids Time is Nature Time, and will always remember it's Kids Time to share Jesus. I will always remember that. I am from Jamaica. Bye. And look at these beautiful faces. There is Kayan and Kimar. Oh, those are adorable little kids, aren't they? Thank you so much. And that's an email picture, so what probably wasn't exactly clear on your set, so don't adjust your set. That's just an email picture. And I have another one here. It says, Dear Miss Brenda, I am Nisha from the lovely Caribbean island of St. Lucia. I am 12 years old, and I enjoy watching your program on Friday evenings. I show others the love of Jesus by telling them about him. Maybe you could initiate a pin friend list where kids like me can get to know other Christian friends. Please send me a Kids Time activity book. Attaches a photo of myself with this email. May God richly bless you and your family. Love, Nisha. And here is a picture of Nisha. And Nisha is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Nisha, for that picture. You are a beautiful girl. Well, right now, I'd like to take you all the way over to Nigeria, where there is a precious little boy that has something to share with you.
So good. I am living in Nigeria, Calabar. How I share Jesus with my friends, I tell them that God said that we should worship on the Sabbath day, that He said in the 10 Commandments, and they should not do anything on that Sabbath day, that if they don't do anything, that God will bless them and take them to heaven.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, it's wonderful to praise Jesus, isn't it? Well, I have a letter here from White Springs, Florida, and a handsome boy in a nice suit with a real pretty blue shirt. And it says, Dear Miss Brenda, I'm 8 years old, and it says I am in 2nd grade. I live in a nice home in White Springs, Florida. And it says, I share Jesus by telling others how the Lord blesses me and will bless them. Please sign me up for Kids Club. God bless you, Eric. Well, thank you, Eric, for that wonderful letter. And also for your picture. And keep sharing Jesus, won't you? This one is from Grants Pass, Oregon. And it says, Dear Miss Brenda, please sign us up for your Kids Club, and we'd like the activity book. Please tell people about Jesus we tell people about Jesus whenever we can, especially our baby brother. It is hard to be patient with him, but we sure try because it's important, and my baby brother is worth it. Love, Ruby, I'm 6 years old, and Alex, I'm 4 years old. Well, that is important, isn't it? I think we have time for a quick email. Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Sharon. I thank you for the Bible lessons. I keep sharing Jesus. Love from India. My name is Sharon. Well, that's all the time we have today, boys and girls. I've enjoyed spending this time with you. Remember, it's kids' time to share Jesus.